For 3 whole years, I slept in a cramped basement with our female director, ate cheap instant noodles, and took countless heavy drinks just for her. I am the very last founding member of this company. And yet, on the day, the entire staff flew out to Sanya for a team building trip. She actually just completely abandoned me here alone. She forced me to sit in this empty office just to edit a presentation for the brand new intern. At first, I honestly didn't complain at all, foolishly thinking it was just my boss putting her trust in me. That was until I found the staff roster crumpled in the trash. My name was viciously crossed out in red ink, and right next to it was a harsh little note saying I was too boring. Right then, no yelling. I didn't even storm off to demand real answers. But here is the crazy thing. I just calmly finished my instant noodles, packed up 5 solid years of their totally fraudulent records, and turned to call our absolute biggest competitor, Director Jiang. I have to ask, can you handle this massive welcome gift worth 15 million yuan? Winter here in Shanghai is absolutely bone-chilling, and the central heating in this massive office building shut off hours ago. I am still wearing the same black winter coat from 3 years back. Sitting at my completely silent desk, I stare down at a soggy cup of braised beef noodles. A thin layer of greasy yellow oil just floats right on top of the broth. Suddenly, my phone screen lights up, and our department group chat starts getting absolutely flooded with a huge wave of new messages. A bright picture pops up showing a beautiful sunny beach. Right in the middle, Lu Nu-yen is wearing sunglasses and a flowy dress, holding up a glass of champagne. Her smile is actually brighter than the local sun. And standing right next to her is to cheat, that exact same intern who just joined us 3 months ago. He is shirtless, throwing up a peace sign, and flashing a ridiculously white smile. The caption just says how grateful he is to Director Lu and the entire company. It says our big work family is perfectly complete without missing anyone. Love you guys. My finger just hovers over the glowing screen for a while. Not missing anyone? I look up at the pitch black office around me. The only light left on is the one right above my head. I seriously look like some lonely ghost that everyone just completely forgot about. Just 3 days ago, admin happily announced in the chat that we finally hit our sales targets. Director Lu supposedly paid out of pocket to invite the whole staff to Sanya for 3 days. Back then, was still stuck fixing that absolute nightmare of a presentation for Lu Nu-yen. Even at 3 a.m., I was actually so excited. I figured since I had worked like an absolute dog all year, I would finally get the chance to step out and breathe some fresh air. But on the morning we were leaving, the bus was parked right downstairs. I grabbed my bag to get on, but Tachit suddenly stepped up and blocked me. Tachit smiles. He looks totally innocent, but his voice is loud enough for everyone to hear. He calls out, "Hey Mr. Jiang, why are you here?" I completely freeze up. Wait, isn't the entire company going on this trip together? Tachit dramatically covers his mouth. Oh wow, did the admin team actually forget to tell you? Director Lu said the company cannot be left empty. She needs a super reliable person to stay behind and guard the main headquarters for us. You are our veteran, Mr. Jiang. Who else could possibly handle this huge responsibility? Just then, the bus window rolls down, revealing the delicate but totally freezing cold face of Lu Nu-yen. She does not even bother to look at me. She just stares down at her phone and carelessly drops one single sentence. Our partners for the South Sea project keep asking for the new data. You need to stay and handle it. As for Sanya, you can just go some other time when there is a chance. I'm not being cheap about your plane ticket. When I return, I will easily make it up to you with a nice red envelope. The doors shut, and exhaust smoke blows right into my face. Now, I just sit here watching all these cheerful stickers pop up, along with endless messages praising our generous director, Lu. Forever 18, huh? My stomach completely churns reading it. The noodles are just freezing cold now. I stir them a bit, but my appetite is totally gone. I stand up to just throw the whole bowl away, walking right past Tachit's messy desk. My foot accidentally kicks into a trash can that hasn't been emptied yet. It sits right by the aisle, filled so high it is basically spilling over. A crumpled paper slides out. I was just going to ignore it, but my eyes suddenly catch the bold words printed right on top. The official employee roster for the big trip. Now watch closely, because this right here changes everything. I slowly bend down, pick it up, and carefully smooth out the page. The list is incredibly long. It goes all the way from Director Lu Nu-yen down to the front desk, receptionist. Even the name of our lovely cleaning lady, Vuong Dai Ta, is printed right there. But right in the dead center, there is one single line that has been viciously crossed out with a really thick red marker. It is my name. The red strike is so ridiculously aggressive, it bleeds straight through to the back. actually, tearing the paper a bit. Right next to that blinding red mark is a messy little note scribbled in pen. Make him stay to work, he is just way too boring. The handwriting is super messy, but I instantly recognize it as to Cheat's writing. And right beneath that cruel little joke is a very flashy approval signature. Lu Nu Yen. She actually drew a checkmark right next to that word. My hands slowly start to shake. Out of nowhere, that awful shaking starts at my fingertips, creeping through my veins all the way up to my heart. Eventually, even my teeth are chattering together, and it is definitely not from the cold. It is pure anger. A 5-year veteran employee who followed Lu Nu Yen back when this entire company only had 3 people. Back then, just to save money, we shared a single boxed meal before taking clients out drinking. I drank so much I wrecked my stomach and got rushed to the ER. Lu Nu Yen actually cried by my hospital bed and told me, Jiyoung Chu, when I finally make it, I will never let you suffer like this again. Now, she is out there living it up. And me, I am Jiyoung Chu, and right now, I don't even get a drop of water, just complaints that I ruin the mood. Then the phone rings. In this empty office, that piercing sound hits exactly like a panic alarm. The screen lights up with CEO Liu. I take one really deep breath and hit answer. Hello, CEO Liu. My voice comes out hoarse, completely empty of emotion. Over on her end, I hear crashing ocean waves, loud party music, and everyone just laughing it up. Liu Nhyn sounds a little bit tipsy, and she still has that heavy, unquestionable arrogance in her tone. Jiyoung Chu, you are at the office, right? Because she says Chit just told her there is a major issue with the data in the Lam Hai project plan. The partners completely lost it. They said if they do not get a brand new plan by midnight tonight, they will rip up the contract. She orders me to redo the whole thing and send it over right now. I just glance at the wall clock. 10:30 p.m. I grip that crumpled list so hard my knuckles turn pure white. Chit was the one entirely in charge of the Lam Hai project. This guy spent his whole entire week shopping for swim trunks and fancy sunscreen. He literally just slapped those random numbers into the file yesterday. I warned him right then that it was a huge mess. He just told me to mind my own business. Wait, you have to hear this part. The line goes quiet for 1 second before Chit starts whining right into the microphone. CEO Liu, I really did not expect the partners to be so incredibly difficult. Plus, Jiyoung Chu did not even explain it clearly to me at all. If I knew there was a problem, I would not be out here playing around. Liu Nhyn drops her tone to absolute ice. Jiyoung Chu, what exactly are you trying to do here? Are you trying to push the blame? Chit is still just a beginner. You are a senior employee here. What is wrong with stepping up to guide him? Do you just completely hate seeing our new people succeed? Honestly, I am so incredibly angry that I actually burst out laughing. CEO Liu, this is real corporate work, not some little kid playing house. He is the one who caused this giant mess. Why am I the one forced to clean it up? I am a human being too. Today is New Year's Day, and I also want a break. Liu Nhyn shoots back, her voice turning completely sharp and incredibly harsh. Jiyoung Chu, you better get this straight right now. You are not on a trip, so the company is paying you a full overtime rate. You take my money, you do the work for me. Cut the useless nonsense. I tell her no. First time in my life, I actually hold my ground. What did you just say? Liu Nhyn clearly cannot believe her own ears. I repeat, I am not doing it. Whoever made this mess can go and clean it up themselves. The entire line goes dead silent. A few seconds pass. Then Liu Nhyn lets out this cold laugh, completely dripping with threats. Jiyoung Chu, you have got some real nerve now. Let me tell you right now, if this Lam Hai project tanks, do not expect a single penny of your year-end bonus. And as for the major staff promotions after the new year, you can completely forget about that vice director spot. She hangs up aggressively. I just stand there holding the phone, listening to that empty dial tone beep. It honestly feels like listening to my last 5 years of hard work getting thrown straight to the dogs. Those 2 golden carrots, the huge bonus, and the vice director title. Liu Nhyn has been dangling those right in front of my face for 3 whole years. Every single time I try to leave, she swings them around again. And the worst part is, I actually believed her. I look at the crumpled paper, that bright red checkmark, those complaints about me ruining the mood. Suddenly, it all just feels hilarious. Right at that exact second, the main office group chat buzzes again. Chit talks over everyone in the chat, dropping this massive virtual cash envelope right in there with a little message. Hey guys, I accidentally made CEO Liu unhappy over a little work issue. So I am taking a penalty shot. Make sure you grab your lucky money from the envelope. Do not let this tiny mistake ruin our party mood tonight. Right underneath that, a massive wave of replies floods in. Oh, thank you so much, boss. T. Little T is incredibly generous. We love our little T. Not a single one of them asks how I am doing. The guy actually stuck working overtime in Shanghai. None of them realize his little work issue was supposed to completely ruin my entire night. I just stare at the screen, totally emotionless. I crush that list into a tight ball and chuck it into the trash. Then I sit back down at my computer. You know I am not actually working, right? I pull up this perfectly hidden folder labeled backup. Inside, it holds every single core client file, contact list, and master plan I have carefully built up over 5 long years here. It also holds all my detailed notes on Liu NHYN's incredibly shady tax tricks and corporate loopholes. And yeah, of course, it has the totally unedited, disastrous mess from T-Chitslam High project. Honestly, I originally planned to fix his numbers for him, since a failed project hurts the whole company really badly. But right now, I just tap my fingers against the keyboard for a second. I pull up that horribly broken file T-Chit just sent over to our partners. I absolutely do not fix a single mistake. Instead, I take those fatal logic holes T-Chit deliberately tried to hide, and I highlight them clearly. I make them completely impossible to miss. Unless the partners are literally completely blind, one quick glance will show them immediately that we are basically treating them like absolute fools on purpose. Once that is done, I zip the file up. I forward it straight to CEO Liu's inbox with just one single sentence written inside. CEO Liu, as requested, here is the final draft created by T-Chit. I did not touch a thing. It still has his original flavor. Email sent. I shut my laptop down. I stand right up, switch off the office lights, lock the heavy doors, and walk straight out. The winter wind outside is cutting across my face like a sharp knife. But honestly, for the very first time this entire year, I actually feel completely refreshed. It's the first day back after the New Year holiday, and the whole office is completely flooded with the heavy scent of expensive perfume and sweet, duty-free snacks. Every single person has this exhausted but super satisfied smile glued to their face. They are swapping coconut candies, pearl necklaces, and all sorts of flashy little souvenirs they just brought back from their big Sanya trip. Hey, look at you, someone says. You got a tan. That is a healthy glow, another replies. Yeah, President Ling was seriously generous this time around, booking us those ocean view rooms. I just walk straight through the noisy, buzzing office like an invisible ghost, quietly making my way right to my own desk. My workspace is piled high with days of stacked paperwork, but there are no gifts, not even a single piece of candy. Mrs. L is sitting right at the next desk over. I have honestly helped babysit her kids countless times and covered so many of her reports. Yet right now she is just busy showing off an incredibly fancy skincare gift set to the young receptionist. President Liu picked this out especially for me, she brags, saying the anti-aging effect is extremely good. The second she sees me sit down, Mrs. L drops her voice. Her eyes dart away awkwardly, and she quickly turns around, pretending to be super busy cleaning up her desk. Honestly, that awkward little reaction hurts a whole lot more than straight up mocking me. Everyone knows I didn't go on the trip, so they silently agreed to treat me like thin air. Oh, Jiang got here early. T-Chit's voice rings out from right behind me, completely dripping with this sickeningly smug attitude. He is wearing the absolute newest designer suit, perfectly tailored to show off his arrogant energy, while carelessly carrying several premium paper shopping bags stamped with big luxury logos. He walks right into the busy office center. He claps his hands. All right everyone, quiet down. We all had an amazing time, entirely thanks to President Liu. To thank you all for your hard work this past year, President Liu specially prepared New Year starting bonuses for every single person here, so everyone gets a share. Cheers instantly erupt across the room as Liu NHYN steps out of her private office. She is wearing incredibly heavy makeup today, and that bright red lipstick completely highlights her commanding presence. T-Chit acts exactly like a loyal lackey, following right behind her, carrying a thick stack of red envelopes. Liu NHYN hands them out one by one. You worked hard, Mrs. L. Keep it up, little Ving. And Auntie Ving. You keep the floors so clean. Take this. Even Auntie Ving, the janitor, receives a bulging red envelope, smiling so widely that the wrinkles on her face practically bloom like a festival flower. Finally, Liu NHYN walks right up to me, but the stack of red envelopes in T-Chit's hands is completely empty. You can feel the shift. The noisy office atmosphere is suddenly suffocated, dropping into dead silence. as every single pair of eyes locks onto me and Liu Nhin. Liu Nhin doesn't seem embarrassed at all. She flips her hair and looks at me. Oh my, Jiangchu. This is pretty awkward. These envelopes were prepped based on the trip headcount. When the admin team made the final list, they probably just missed your name. You didn't go anyway. Standing right beside her, T-Chit pretends to act completely surprised, landing another little verbal jab. Oh wow, my bad. I just figured a company veteran like you had higher standards and wouldn't care. About $100 or $2. You are not angry, right, Jiang? $100 or $2. The thickness of those envelopes means they hold at least $2,000 each. I just stare at these two, putting on their little show, keeping my face completely expressionless. If this were the old me, I probably would have forced a laugh, said it was fine, and ducked my head to pretend I was busy, just to hide the embarrassment. But today, just quietly stare at Liu Nhin. My gaze is so direct and so freezing cold that it actually sends a sudden, sharp chill straight down her spine. It is absolutely fine, I say, my voice completely steady. If these were only handed out to the trip people, I truly have no right to take one. However, President Liu, since everyone is gathered here right now, I have a quick question. Liu Nhin furrows her brow. About what exactly? If this is about the year-end bonus, save it for the meeting. It is not about money, I say, pulling out the crumpled list I dug from the trash. I grab it right from my drawer, gently place it on the desk, and slide it to Liu Nhin, revealing a shockingly harsh red strike through mark. I just want to know, were these two words mood killer, written by T-Chit, or was that your own idea, President Liu? Liu Nhin's expression completely drops, and T-Chit's smug smile instantly freezes. He never expected me to dig through the trash, and definitely didn't expect me to publicly confront them like this. Jiangchu, you dug through the trash bin? Are you out of your mind? T-Chit shouts first to overpower me, desperately using volume to cover up his own raging guilt. Just answer me. I completely ignore T-Chit's outburst, keeping my eyes locked intensely on Liu Nhin. Watch her reaction here. Liu Nhin takes a deep breath, the brief flash of panic in her eyes instantly twisting into a stronger glare of absolute arrogance. In her eyes, I'm just a tame dog. Let me bark a few times to blow off steam, and I will obediently fall right back into line. Yeah, I signed it, so what? Liu Nhin tilts her chin up. The whole point of company team building is to strengthen our group connection and boost unity. You never participate in this or join us for that. Walking around all day with that truly depressing, gloomy look on your face. It stops everyone from having fun. So is it really wrong to call you a mood killer? Not wrong at all, I nod. It really is quite a mood killer. Good that you know. Liu Nhin waves her hand in pure impatience. Alright, enough. Just stop making a complete fool of yourself right here. The all-staff meeting is starting in exactly 10 minutes. I have a very important personnel appointment to announce to everyone, and also, what is the latest feedback from the Lam Hai project partners? At the mention of the Lam Hai project, T-Chit's face goes pale for a second, but he quickly remembers. He didn't even bother reading that email the other night, just forwarded it straight to the client. Since I sent it, the edits must be done, he figures. That old workhorse always does exactly what he's told without complaining, right? Feeling completely confident again, T-Chit straightens his back. That's right, brother Jiang. President Liu is asking you, is the plan approved? A pretty faint, mocking smile tugs right at Jiangchu's lips. Approved. The partner is quite happy. Good enough. Liu Nhin doesn't even bother glancing at Jiangchu, spinning on her heels and marching right into the main meeting room. Inside the room, Liu Nhin takes the head seat. T-Chit sits right on her left. Jiangchu takes the most hidden corner seat, casually spinning a pen while the projector lights up the screen. Liu Nhin is totally fired up right now. 2 pieces of good news today, she announces. First, with the Lam Hai project successfully signed, the company's annual revenue has just officially doubled. This is the result of everyone's combined hard work, she claims. A sparse, polite round of applause slowly follows. Second, since the company's business is constantly expanding, she is officially creating a brand new role here, head of sales. Now watch this exact setup. Hearing this, everyone instinctively looks straight at Jiangchu. Experience, skills, results. This spot basically has his name completely written all over it. This is the exact same carrot Liu Nhin has been dangling in front of him for 3 whole years. Sister L even whispers a quick congratulations to him. Liu Nhin pauses for a moment, her gaze slowly and deliberately sweeping across the whole room, before finally landing on T-Chit with a highly satisfied smile. The new head of sales is T-Chit. The room erupts in loud whispers, while T-Chit fakes total shock. President Liu, I'm still young. Experience is pretty shallow. Experience is not the issue, she claims. Capability is the real key. Liu Nhin cuts him off, shooting a very pointed look at Jiang Chu sitting over in the corner. Some people stay a long time but have rigid thinking, she says. They cannot adapt. They are really only good for grunt work. But T-Chit has serious drive and ideas. The Lam High draft this time was his doing, she claims, highly creative. That is the exact kind of talent she needs. Let us all applaud and welcome Manager T-Chit. Liu Nhin proudly leads the round of applause herself. T-Chit stands up, his face completely red with smug pride, and bows. Thanks for the trust, President Liu. Thanks everyone. Please help me out a lot more from now on. Oh, Brother Jiang, I will definitely be asking you for a lot of guidance. This is naked humiliation. Ripping his face off, stomping it into the dirt, and spitting right on top. Jiang Chu stops spinning his pen. He looks at the smug little rat on the podium, then at the high and mighty Liu Nhin. Suddenly, he bursts out laughing. The sound echoes in the quiet room, completely jarring and totally out of place. Jiang Chu, what are you laughing at? Liu Nhin frowns, clearly unhappy. You do not accept this decision? Oh no, I totally accept it. He stands up, his chair scraping loudly against the floor with a really harsh, ear-piercing screech. He pulls a crisp white envelope from his pocket. He prepared this exactly 3 days ago. He didn't even use a single sheet of company paper for it. He went and bought his own. Feel the tension here. He steps up to the desk while everyone simply holds their breath. He gently places the envelope right in front of Liu Nhin. President Liu, since Manager T is already so incredibly capable, then give him all the grunt work from now on too. I am done serving. Liu Nhin stares at the envelope, the words resignation letter glaring up at her like sharp, painful needles. She completely freezes for a second, then acts like she just heard a really funny joke. Quitting? Jiang Chu, you really need to stop using this tired trick to threaten me. You have pulled this how many times? If you want a raise, just say so directly. Do not play these childish little games. He had definitely mentioned being totally burned out before, but every single time she used a few sweet promises to coax him right back. She assumes this time is exactly the same. The economy is pretty tough right now. Does he really think his second-rate degree will land him another good job outside of here? Liu Nhin confidently crosses her arms, looking like she has him completely figured out. Take it back. Apologize to T-Chit, and we will pretend today never even happened. He just looks at her, the very last shred of warmth completely vanishing from his eyes. Liu Nhin, did you actually forget? His voice is not loud, but every single word lands sharp and clear. For 5 years, who built this company's entire business system from scratch? Those dozens of core clients who drank themselves half to death to win them over one by one. And T-Chit's so-called Lam High plan, who is the one constantly cleaning up his messy battlefield. You actually think I am completely unable to leave this place? He leans down, planting both hands heavily on the table, staring her down with overwhelming pressure. I only stayed here to repay a debt. When my mom had surgery back then, you lent me 50,000 yuan. This past year alone, I helped you make well over 5 million yuan. In return, the debt is fully paid. We are completely even now. Saying that, he does not spare Liu Nhin another glance, turning on his heel and walking away. Jiang Chu, if you dare step out that door, do not even think about coming back. Liu Nhin furiously slams the desk. Your year-end bonus, your salary for this month, you are not getting a single cent. His footsteps do not stop at all. With his back to her, he just casually waves a hand. Keep it. Use it to buy a coffin for T-Chit. I walk away without looking back. I don't even return to my desk to pack my stuff. The chipped water mug, the flattened seat cushion, all those instant noodle cups stuffed in the drawer for endless overtime nights. I leave it all behind. I don't need any of it anymore. I just take my phone. The second I step out of the office doors, I pull up WeChat. That company group chat with over 50 people is still blowing up with messages. Everyone congratulating T-Chit on his brand new promotion. I tap the top right corner and hit leave group. Then I open my contacts, find Liu Nhin, and hit block. I find T-Chit. Blocked. The world instantly goes perfectly quiet. I stand by the curb and take a really deep breath. The cold air is full of exhaust fumes, but somehow tastes incredibly sweet. Right then, an unknown number rings. I answer it. Hello, is this Mr. Jiang? They ask. I'm calling from the headhunting agency. It is about that marketing director role at Tham Lam Strategy we discussed before. Their boss is very sincere, offering a yearly salary 3 times your current one, and just wants to know your thoughts. Tham Lam Strategy, the absolute sworn enemy of Tin Then Creation. Over the past 3 years, Tham Lam tried to poach me 5 times. I turned them down every single time because Liu Nhyun always said Tin Then was our home. We had to build it up together, she said. Looking back now, brain must have been completely waterlogged. Well, my voice sounds totally relieved as I tell them I accept. But I have one condition. Tell me, they reply. I tell them I want to bring a welcoming gift, a really huge one. Meanwhile, back inside Tin Then Creation, my sudden departure barely makes a ripple. In fact, quite a few people are secretly laughing behind my back. What an idiot, walking out so impulsively. He doesn't even want his year-end bonus anymore. Fight with whoever you want, they say, but never fight with money. T-Chit is President Liu's trusted favorite now. Couldn't he just endure it for a bit? Inside her office, Liu Nhyun is furious enough to smash a stack of documents onto the floor. So ungrateful, she mutters. She curses under her breath, takes a sip of her coffee, and immediately realizes it is completely cold and sickeningly sweet. I used to make all her coffee, exactly 3 parts sugar, a splash of milk, temperature perfectly held at 65 degrees. T-Chit, Liu Nhyun snaps out. He pushes the door open right away. Please calm down, President Liu. He says that kind of guy is absolutely not worth your anger. Go make me a coffee. Liu Nhyun frowns and asks, also, has the Lam High project partner replied yet? They should reply soon, T-Chit says, rushing off to brew coffee. Mr. Jiang, he emailed it to me last night, saying it is the final version. An honest guy like him definitely does solid work without any issues. Liu Nhyun nods, the slight anxiety in her chest settling down a bit. As long as they win the Lam High project, the company reaches a whole new level. When that happens, who cares if they lose one Jiang Chu? They can just throw money at 2 obedient replacements, right? T-Chit brings the coffee over. Liu Nhyun takes one tiny sip and almost spits it out. Why is this so incredibly bitter? Did you skip the sugar? But I usually see you drink black coffee. T-Chit stammers awkwardly. Enough, just get out. Liu Nhyun waves him off in pure annoyance. Keep a very close eye on the partner's emails for me. 3 p.m. hits, and the entire office suddenly explodes into absolute chaos. T-Chit bursts right into the room like a stepped-on cat, his face completely drained of color. He even forgets to knock on Liu Nhyun's door. President Liu, something huge happened. What are you panicking for? Liu Nhyun glares at him. Did the sky fall down? It really did fall. Watch how fast the tables turn. T-Chit hands the tablet to Liu Nhyun, his hands shaking violently. Lam High Group sent a legal letter, claiming we unilaterally cancelled the contract and want to sue us for commercial fraud. What? Liu Nhyun jumps straight up, knocking over that entirely undrinkable coffee. The brown liquid spills all over the desk, dripping down onto her wildly expensive carpet. How could this even happen? Didn't Jiang Chu already fix the proposal? Liu Nhyun snatches the tablet away, her eyes glued tightly to the email on the screen. Attached inside the email is a screenshot. It shows the exact data page from the final proposal version that they just sent over. The expected profit growth was supposed to be 20%, but now it has turned into a completely absurd negative number. Even more terrifying, in the proposal's risk assessment column, there is a tiny line of text typed in white font on a white background, normally invisible to the naked eye, but once printed or scanned with dedicated software, it shows up clear as day. It says the data in this proposal is completely fabricated. Any similarities just mean T-Chit's brain is entirely flooded with water. Liu Nhyun feels her head practically explode with the loud ringing. What is the meaning of this? She points at the text, fingers trembling. It is Jiang Chu. Jiang Chu definitely did this. T-Chit screams out in panic. He totally framed me. President Liu, he sent it to me, and I forwarded it without even checking. I didn't do it. I only trusted him. A stinging slap lands viciously right across T-Chit's face. Liu Nhyun is so furious her chest is heaving violently. Are you a pig? You didn't review a document meant for our partner? Are you a department head, or just a mindless broadcasting speaker? T-Chit clutches his face, absolutely terrified. Oh, the panic is real now. Call Jiang Chu immediately. Liu Nhin roars. Tell him to get his ass back here and explain this. And she adds, tell him to head straight to Lam High Group and apologize right now. He needs to say this was his personal stunt, completely unrelated to our company. To try it panics and immediately scrambles to dial the number, but all he gets is the automated voice. Sorry, the subscriber you were trying to reach is busy. Yeah, he's definitely been blocked. To try it looks ready to cry, gritting her teeth. Lu Nuyen violently pulls out her own phone to call him. The automated voice hits her too. Sorry, the subscriber you called has activated message alerts. Boom, she is totally blocked as well. This unprecedented wave of pure panic creeps right up Lu Nuyen's spine. This is not just some tiny project issue anymore. Nam High Group is a massive giant in this industry. If they actually sue Tin, then for commercial fraud? The company's name is completely finished in this business. Game over. Whenever crises like this hit in the past, Jiang Chu was always the one fixing them. Our MC would drink with clients, smile to make peace, and write endless 10,000-word apology reports. He'd wait down in their lobby for 3 whole days and nights like a completely obedient kid, begging for one more chance. But now, he's gone. And what's more, he is the exact person who planted this crazy knife in their backs. Lu Nuyen slumps heavily into her chair, muttering to herself. How dare he? How could he actually treat her like this? Suddenly, the phones right outside her office start ringing. It's a frantic, non-stop wave of calls. Boss, CEO Vuong from Company X is asking why this week's report hasn't been sent. Boss, the server password is wrong. We totally can't log into the system. Boss, the old supplier Jiang Chu connected us with, they're saying that final payment still hasn't come through. They want to cut off our deliveries completely. Bad news keeps piling up like a blizzard. Watching the company descend into pure chaos and looking at Triet's useless face, she finally realizes something. Jiang Chu didn't just leave in a rush. He planned this all along, pulling out every single load-bearing pillar of this place. Get the car. Pale-faced, she forces herself up to head straight for his place. She refuses to believe he could just vanish off the face of the earth. She wants to drag this disobedient dog right back here and break his legs just to vent her anger. But here is the crazy thing. She doesn't know yet. By the time she reaches his old rented apartment, the place is already completely empty. There's just a single key tossed casually onto a dusty windowsill. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, inside a 5-star hotel, private room, our guy is casually raising a glass of wine. Sitting right across from him is the boss of Tham Lam Strategy. Welcome to the team, Director Jiang. He just smiles and clinks his glass. Lu Nuyen totally missed her target. Back at his old place, the landlady is grumbling while clearing out the trash. Man, this young guy lived here for 3 whole years, and he just up and leaves without even asking for his deposit back. The landlady tosses a bag of old clothes outside. Standing right there in her expensive high heels, trapped in that cramped hallway, Lu Nuyen catches the smell of old, musty dampness. Her eyebrows pull tightly together. Where exactly did he go? She asks. The landlady just shoots her a massive glare. How am I supposed to know? And what exactly are you to him anyway? If you're here to collect a debt, just give up. This guy looks gentle, but he has a pretty ruthless heart. Honestly, he probably destroyed his phone number by now. Lu Nuyen stays completely silent, turning on her heel to leave. Ruthless? He actually used to have the softest heart. In the past, if she even slightly frowned and mentioned a stomachache at 2 a.m., he would literally run across half of Shanghai just to bring her some hot porridge. He is honestly just throwing a little temper tantrum. That is what Lu Nuyen keeps telling herself. By the time she gets back, it's 8 p.m. The office is brightly lit not for making money, but for desperate damage control. Boss, we are in serious trouble. Old Trong from the IT department comes running over, sweating bullets. We can't get into the server. Every single piece of core data is locked inside that encrypted drive. And Jiang Chu is the only person alive who knows the password. You can't just decrypt it? Lu Nuyen angrily slams her bag down onto the sofa. We tried, but it has an anti-brute force mechanism built in. 3 wrong guesses, and all the data automatically self-destructs. Old Trong wipes his forehead. To try it just failed twice, so we are absolutely terrified to try again. Where the hell is to try it? He is crying in the bathroom right now. Lu Nuyen is so furious she almost laughs. This is the exact department head she personally promoted. What a totally useless piece of trash. She grabs her phone, opening WeChat just to stare at that red exclamation mark. She still doesn't believe he could actually be this heartless. She opens Alipay, planning to send him a money transfer just to force a message through. But the screen shows he turned off all phone and email search features. Lu Nu Yen finally feels real. I see panic setting in. Without those specific documents, what are they going to do about the 3 client pitches tomorrow? And what about that massive tax audit coming up next week? That pile of files doesn't just hold regular work data. It holds way too many dark secrets that can never see the light of day. Like the double books they kept strictly for tax evasion, or the detailed records of shady kickbacks paid out to certain partners. Watch this moment closely. If this stuff gets lost or falls into the wrong hands, Lu Nu Yen violently shudders at the thought. Call the police. To try it, who quietly crept out of the bathroom with red eyes, grabs onto this like a literal lifeline. Yes, boss, call the cops and have him arrested. That is straight up theft of corporate secrets. He's completely sabotaging our entire computer information system. Lu Nu Yen stares at him like he's a total moron. Call the cops. Aren't you terrified they'll uncover our double books? To try it freezes completely, the color draining right out of his pathetic face. So what do we do now? Liu Nhyn takes a deep breath, forcing herself to calm down. Jiang Chu always cared about old TIs, she mutters, lighting a cigarette. This is the very first time she has ever smoked inside the office. He is just throwing a tantrum for better treatment, just wants more money. T-Chit, go look up if Jiang Chu has any family or friends in Shanghai, or any spots he usually hangs out at. Boss Liu really don't know any of his friends, T-Chit whispers nervously. We never even brought him along on team building trips anyway. Liu Nhyn chokes on her words. That is right. Working together all year, and yet she actually has no idea where I live. She just had to check HR files to find out. She knows nothing about my friends or where I go after work. She only knew one thing. Whenever she looked back, I was always right there. But now, that spot is completely empty. Find him. Liu Nhyn smashes her ashtray into the ground. Dig 3 feet deep if you have to. Just find him. Tell absolutely everyone. Whoever manages to contact Jiang Chu gets 50,000 in cold cash. Heavy rewards always bring out the brave ones. Half an hour later, the receptionist tiptoes in. Boss Liu, we got some news. Liu Nhyn shoots right up. The girl says she saw a photo posted on the feed of someone over at Lam Strategy. She hands the phone over. It is just a shot from the back. But those clothes definitely look like Mr. Jiang. Liu Nhyn snatches the phone. The picture shows a man's back standing by a floor-to-ceiling window, holding up a champagne glass. The caption reads, welcoming our new marketing director, like a tiger growing wings. That specific outfit was a staff benefit Liu Nhyn handed out during a year-end party to Hull years ago, which also happened to be my only decent suit. Her eyes stay glued to that figure. Lam Strategy. That is their absolute worst enemy. A pack of starving wolves that spent the last 3 years fighting Tinthan for market share. Good. Very good. Jiang Chu. Liu Nhyn laughs out of pure rage, her fingers squeezing the phone screen like she wants to crush it. Turns out, he already found himself a new home. No wonder he left so fast. No wonder he actually dares to challenge me. This is not him throwing a fit. This is straight up betrayal. A declaration of war. Get the car ready. Liu Nhyn stands up, her eyes venomous. We are going to Lam. Boss Liu, why are we heading there now? T-Chit asks. Why? Liu Nhyn sneers. We are going to show him the exact consequences of betraying me. But watch this backfire. She thinks she still holds one ultimate trump card. The strict non-compete agreement I signed on day 1. As long as he dares to jump to a rival company, Liu Nhyn can completely ruin him. She can bankrupt him, even ban him from working in this entire industry for 3 solid years. Find his employment contract and that non-compete. Bring Jiang Chu's paperwork out here right now. Liu Nhyn screams at the admin department. The admin manager is just a fresh graduate, shaking with absolute fear as she desperately digs through the filing cabinets. 10 minutes later she walks out crying, holding a completely empty folder in her hands. Boss Liu, the folder? It is empty. The girl is on the verge of breaking down. Mr. Jiang's contract is entirely gone. What? Liu Nhyn and T-Chit both scream at the exact same time. How could it just vanish? Aren't the HR files always kept securely locked up? Liu Nhyn lunges forward and snatches the folder. It really is totally empty. Not even a single scrap of paper left inside. I really do not know. The admin girl is actually sobbing now. The key is always kept with Manager T. He said he wanted to reorganize the files before, so he took them away for a whole week. Instantly, every single pair of eyes locks onto T-Chit again. T-Chit's legs turned to absolute jelly, almost dropping to his knees. I just needed to check them. He stammers, unable to speak. He took them to see whose salary was highest, looking for any excuse to cut pay or fire people. Back then, feeling annoyed, he just carelessly tossed the files all over his desk. And then, after that, that messy pile of papers apparently got thrown out like actual garbage by the cleaning lady. At the time, he didn't care at all, figuring an honest guy like me could just sign a new one if it got lost. Who could have ever predicted today? Liu Nhyn stares at T-Chit's completely useless, pathetic display, feeling her vision literally going dark in waves. You see where this is heading? No non-compete agreement, no confidentiality clause. I'm officially a completely free man now. He took every single secret of Intern with him, all their client resources, and even his deep knowledge of the company's worst weak points, openly joining the enemy side. And what's worse, Liu Nhyn personally pushed him right into their arms. T-Chit. Her voice is as light as an actual ghost. Boss Liu, I was wrong. I was so incredibly wrong. T-Chit drops to the floor with a thud, desperately hugging her leg, sobbing with snot and tears streaming down. Get lost. Liu Nhyn violently kicks him away. If the clients I need aren't fully smoothed over by tomorrow morning, you can pack your bags and get out. And that Lam Hai lawsuit? Go to court yourself. After saying that, Liu Nhyn collapses weakly onto the sofa, staring blankly at the ceiling. She suddenly remembers a night just like this 3 years ago, when the company almost went bankrupt. I sat right there on the ground, eating instant noodles, telling her Nhyn, don't be afraid. As long as I am here, I will never let you lose. It was the sweetest confession she had ever heard. The very next morning, down in the Tham Lam strategy building Lu Nu Yen storms right in, wearing dark shades, 8-inch heels clicking loudly, marching fiercely straight up to the reception desk, demanding they call Jiang Chu out. The receptionist just smiles politely. Excuse me ma'am, do you have a prior appointment? Director Jiang is in a meeting. I am his actual boss. Why on earth would I need an appointment? Nu Yen violently rips off her sunglasses. She slams them hard onto the receptionist's marble desk. Tell him if Jiang Chu doesn't show up within 10 minutes, I will personally go upstairs and completely smash his office. The receptionist panics, just about to call security when the elevator suddenly dings. The doors slide open, and I step right out. I'm wearing a perfectly tailored dark gray custom suit, my hair styled absolutely flawlessly. My whole presence screams tall, sharp, and confident, looking completely different from that timid guy wearing cheap puffy coats and faded plaid shirts. Back when I worked at Intern, walking right beside me is the boss of Tham Lam. We are having a really great conversation. Catching sight of Nu Yen, the smile on my face doesn't fade at all, but my eyes stay pretty indifferent, just like I'm looking at a complete stranger. CEO Liu, our esteemed guest. I stop walking, hands casually shoved in my pockets. Nu Yen stares at the radiant man standing before her, suddenly feeling her throat entirely choke up. She has literally never seen a Jiang Chu like this, utterly confident, relaxed, even carrying this intense kind of pressure that makes her completely unable to look him straight in the eye. Jiang Chu, are you done throwing your little tantrum? Nu Yen takes a deep breath, stepping forward, desperately trying to claw back her former intimidating authority. I won't hold yesterday's messy incident against you anymore. Just hand over the server passwords, give T-Chit a quick apology, and go right back to work. That vice director position, I can actually still save it for you. Passing Tham Lam, staff members completely stop in their tracks, their faces showing absolute amazement at this scene. I just laugh right at Nu Yen. Do you honestly not understand basic human words? I lean in close to Nu Yen, my voice low but crystal clear. I already officially joined Tham Lam. As of right now, I am the marketing director of Tham Lam, not some loyal dog for your Intern company. You dare? Nu Yen screams out loud. You signed a strict non-compete agreement. Do you want me to sue you into total bankruptcy, making absolutely sure you can never work in this industry ever again? This is her ultimate trump card. As long as I want to survive in this professional circle, I am absolutely forced to bow my head down to her. But the smile on my face just grows even wider. A non-compete agreement? I raise an eyebrow. CEO Liu, are you entirely sure you actually still have that document in your hands? Nu Yen's heart suddenly skips a massive beat. Oh right, I pretend to just remember something. My old coworkers told me manager T-Chit wanted to clean the cabinets. so he dumped tons of expired documents straight into the trash. Like common garbage. CEO Lu, you better head back and double check if that agreement is sitting in a dumpster. It's you. You manipulated to cheat into doing this, right? Nu Yen points right at me, her fingers trembling violently. You can eat garbage, but you absolutely cannot just spout pure reckless nonsense. I just shrug my shoulders. To cheat is your precious little treasure, all thanks to his outstanding abilities. CEO Lu, didn't you personally say he had massive explosive potential? Now, this right here is what you call real potential. Nu Yen turns totally pale from anger. Her chest heaves violently. Is there anything else you need? I flick my wrist, checking my watch. If we are completely done here, please leave. I have a meeting and honestly, no time to drink with you today. Saying that, I turn around to walk away. Jiang Chu. Nu Yen completely panics, frantically reaching out and grabbing tightly onto my suit sleeve. You absolutely cannot go. Without you, the company's crucial accounts are completely impossible to handle. All those major clients out there only acknowledge you. You have to come back and finish cleaning up this massive battlefield. This right here is her actual goal. Pure shameless exploitation, not begging me to stay. I stop walking slowly, looking down at that hand desperately clutching onto my sleeve. But get this, on that very hand sits a Cartier diamond ring, a birthday gift I literally saved 3 whole months of salary last year to buy for her. Back then she complained it was pretty small, saying she'd just wear it temporarily. My eyes go freezing cold, and I violently rip my arm away. Nu Yen loses her balance, stumbling backward several steps, and almost crashing right onto the floor. Nu Yen, you completely smashed that battlefield with your own 2 hands. I glare at her, coldly. If you think to cheat is such a genius talent, let him go. Block the drinks. Let him entertain the clients all by himself. Period. Don't forget how insanely happy you were crossing my name right off that company trip list. Back then, why didn't you say the company absolutely could not survive without me? Security. See our guest out. 2 massive security guards immediately step right up. Ma'am, we invite you to leave right now. Nu Yen awkwardly fixes her clothes. Her eyes turn completely red. She glares daggers into my back. Jiang Chu, you will regret this. Leaving Tin then, you are absolutely nothing. I will make you kneel down on the ground and beg me to return. I don't even turn my head, stepping straight into the elevator. The exact second the elevator doors start closing, the phone in Nu Yen's pocket rings like crazy. It's To Cheat calling. CEO Lu, a court summons just arrived. To Cheat's crying, desperate voice echoes piercingly loud right across that entirely empty main lobby. Lam Hai Group is officially suing us, demanding 20 million yuan in contract breach compensation. And they even requested an order to completely freeze our company accounts. Nu Yen's hand shakes violently, her phone dropping to the floor with a hard smack. Fast forward to 7 p.m. at Bund 18. This is literally the most elite business venue in all of Shanghai. The minimum spend here starts at 5,000 yuan per person. To Cheat sits right by the window, nervously wiping cold sweat off his forehead over and over. Sitting directly across from him is CEO Vuong of Theme Diet Group, Tin, that's absolutely biggest, most crucial annual contract client. This 3 million yuan contract is basically the one and only lifeline keeping Tin then afloat. Right now. Mr. Vuong, you really have to try this caviar. I ordered it especially just for you. To Cheat gives this incredibly flattering smile, hands shaking so badly he almost drops the spoon. Mr. Vuong, a slightly heavy-set guy in his 50s, just sits there with a dark expression, completely ignoring his chopsticks. Listen here, To Cheat. Mr. Vuong taps on the table. I'm only asking you one question. Where is Jiang Chu? I spent 3 whole months negotiating this contract with Jiang Chu, and we finalized every single detail. Today is the signing day, so why on earth is he not here? Well, Director Jiang hasn't been feeling very well, so he actually resigned to get some rest. To Cheat stammers out a pretty pathetic lie. I am currently in charge of the sales department, so rest assured, I am incredibly professional. Professional? Mr. Vuong lets out this really cold snort. Do you even know that I absolutely cannot eat seafood? Did you know I have gout and cannot touch a single drop of champagne? To Cheat stares at the table completely packed with lobster, abalone, and freshly opened champagne, his face instantly turning pale. He genuinely had absolutely no idea, because in the past, Jiang Chu perfectly arranged every single one of these little details. To Cheat just had to show up at the celebration party and take a few photos. This is a total misunderstanding. To Cheat desperately tries to explain himself. Misunderstanding, foot. Mr. Vuong angrily throws his napkin onto the table. If you do not even know the most basic things, your client cannot eat. What is the point of even discussing a partnership? I can see Tin then is really going downhill. Go tell Lu Nu-yen that I am definitely not signing this contract. Mr. Vuong stands up to leave, while Cheat begs him to stay. Cheat panics, rushing forward to grab Mr. Vuong. Please just give us one more chance. We can definitely lower the price even further. Right at this exact moment, the private room door pushes open. Mr. Vuong, it has been a while. A gentle voice suddenly drifts in. Watch this entrance. Jiang Chu calmly walks in, carrying a vintage-style gift box. Jiang Chu. Mr. Vuong's tense expression instantly softens, completely, lighting up with genuine joy. Oh man, I heard you were sick. How come you still look this good? Just a minor bug. Changing environments clears it right up. Jiang Chu smiles and casually walks over, brushing Cheat aside like thin air. He hands the vintage box to Mr. Vuong, offering up some fresh Lapsang Souchong tea. Knowing you love this, I specially saved it just for you. Mr. Vuong's eyes light up as he takes the tea box and gives it a sniff. Great tea, you really understand me best. This kid just ordered me a table full of seafood. Was he trying to end me? Cheat stands there, his face red as a tomato. He cannot leave, but staying feels just as awkward. Jiang Chu, did you seriously come here just to ruin things? This is our Tin then client. Cheat grits his teeth and practically spits the words out. Jiang Chu just turns his head, staring at him like he is a total idiot. Manager to Mr. Vuong's contract with Tin then actually expired yesterday, so he is currently a free agent. Jiang Chu casually replies, besides, I did not come here to cause any trouble at all. He casually pulls a brand new document from his briefcase and hands it to Mr. Vuong. Mr. Vuong, here is the new proposal from Deep Blue Strategy for you. The price is 5% lower than Tin then, but our service standards are 20% higher. But the most important part is this. He points to himself. I will personally oversee this entire project from start to finish. Mr. Vuong does not even bother glancing at the proposal, directly pulling out his pen and signing it immediately. No need to look, I completely trust you. Mr. Vuong slaps the signed contract right into Jiang Chu's hand. My good brother, wherever you go, I will gladly follow. This is absolute gold. Working with those clueless fools would just give me a heart attack. Eventually, Cheat stares wide-eyed as that 3 million yuan contract literally becomes Jiang Chu's brand new achievement. You guys, Cheat points right at them, trembling all over from pure anger. Why don't you get lost already? Mr. Vuong completely loses his patience and glares at Cheat. Are you waiting for me to call security to throw you out? Cheat runs away looking totally pathetic. On his way out, he panics and accidentally crashes right into a waiter's food tray. Hot soup spills all over him, looking absolutely messy. Back in the private room, Jiang Chu pours Mr. Vuong a hot cup of tea. Thank you, sir. Thank you for what? It is a win-win situation. Mr. Vuong sips his tea, letting out a heavy sigh. But listen here, Jiang Chu, that old boss of yours, Lu Nu-yen, is probably going to take a pretty hard fall this time around. I heard the banks are already pushing hard to collect all of her company loans. Jiang Chu gently swirls the teacup in his hand, staring at the clear water. This is just the appetizer, honestly. She owes me a whole lot more than just money. Meanwhile, back at Tin Then's creative office, Lu Nu-yen watches a greasy-looking Cheat return with news of the lost contract. She gets so incredibly furious, she instantly smashes her newly bought vase. Completely useless. A bunch of losers. Lu Nu-yen screams completely out of control. I told you to sign a contract, and you order seafood for an allergic client? Is your brain entirely empty? Cheat shrinks into the corner, not daring to say a word. Boss. Lu, what do we do now? The finance manager stands by the door, trembling in fear. The bank has officially issued their final ultimatum. If we do not repay the 10 million yuan bridge loan by next Monday, they will auction off our company assets. 10 million yuan. In this kind of absolute burning crisis, where on earth are we going to find 10 million yuan? We have not even paid Lam Hai's breach penalty yet. The renewal contract for Thea and Dite completely falls apart. Liu Nhyn looks like a total wreck, hair messy, eyes totally bloodshot. She feels exactly like a wild animal locked inside a cage, completely surrounded by deadly traps on all sides. There is still one more way out. Chit, who has been completely quiet, suddenly speaks up. A crazy glint flashes right through his eyes. Boss Liu, next week there is a government bidding project for the Smart Industrial Park. The budget is exactly 50 million yuan. If we just win this bid, the advance payment will be 15 million yuan. That is completely enough to save our lives. Liu Nhin snaps her head up. She says the competition for that industrial park project is incredibly fierce. Do we actually have a chance? T-Chit grits his teeth and explains. He found the preliminary calculation model for that exact project inside Jiang Chu's old computer. If we just push our price low enough, we will absolutely win. Pushing it too low means zero profit. But we can just use the advance cash to survive for now. T-Chit speaks in a rushed panic. Whatever happens after that is a problem for later. Boss Liu, this is literally our very last chance. Liu Nhin stays silent for a long time. She stares at the pitch-black night sky outside, then back at her totally trashed and messy office. The ultimate gambler's mindset completely takes over her now. Liu Nhin grits her teeth and orders him to push the price way below cost. I refuse to believe them Lam dares to risk more than I do. The bidding event happens on Friday. The atmosphere at the venue feels totally suffocating. Representatives from dozens of advertising agencies fill every seat. Liu Nhin brings T-Chit and sits on the left. Now watch how this standoff plays out. I represent them Lam strategy, sitting on the right. An aisle divides us, but it honestly feels like a massive, uncrossable war trench. Today, Liu Nhin is specifically wearing a sharp black business suit. She looks incredibly formal and strictly professional. Her hands tightly grip the bidding documents, palms completely covered in sweat. This is a life or death battle for her. I, however, feel totally relaxed. Holding my coffee cup, I just casually whisper a few quiet words to the colleague sitting right beside me. Seeing Liu Nhin look over, I even raise my cup to greet her from a distance. That little smile completely gives her the creeps. She asks T-Chit if he is absolutely sure that price is okay. Liu Nhin lowers her voice to ask. No problem at all, T-Chit confirms with total certainty. He already had someone dig around. The quote from them Lam this time is roughly 48 million yuan. If we just quote 45 million, we can absolutely break out of the siege and win. Liu Nhin bites her lip, staying completely silent. The bidding event officially begins. After several rounds of technical presentations, the most crucial bidding phase finally arrives. The host steps onto the stage and starts calling out prices. Company B quotes exactly 52 million yuan. Company C quotes 51.5 million yuan. The prices are all hovering right around the 50 million mark. Them Lam strategy. The host pauses for a quick second, glances right at me, and reads the number out loud, quoting 49.8 million yuan. The massive heavy rock in Liu Nhin's heart finally drops. Sure enough, the them Lam price is extremely high. She turns to look at me, her eyes overflowing with pure, victorious pleasure. Jiang Chu, you have definitely lost this time. Faced with our absolutely low price, no matter how great your plan is, it will be completely useless. Intern, creative. The host opens up the very last envelope. He looks at the number inside, his eyebrows furrowing slightly like he simply cannot believe his own eyes. Dead silence fills the hall. The quote is 38 million yuan. Wow! The whole venue erupts into absolute chaos. Everyone stares at Liu Nhin and T-Chit like they are complete lunatics. 38 million yuan? That price cannot even cover the basic costs. Are they seriously doing charity work out here? Have they completely lost their minds? Winning a bid at this ridiculous price means taking a massive loss on every single project. Intern is literally just committing financial suicide right now. Noisy whispers fill the entire room. Only T-Chit looks incredibly thrilled, loudly slapping his own thigh. We won. Boss Liu, we absolutely won this thing. But Liu Nhin is not anywhere near as happy as expected. She hears the surrounding gossip and sees the highly bizarre expression on the host's face. An intense wave of deep anxiety suddenly rises up in her heart. She quickly turns her head to look right at me. I'm just clapping. You feel the dread setting in, right? I look back at Liu Nhin. My face shows zero disappointment from losing instead. It carries a deep sense of pure pity. Not simple mockery, but the exact cold amusement of watching prey finally fall into a trap. Congratulations to Intern Creative for winning the bid. The host officially announces the final result. T-Chit jumps up in excited cheers, while Liu Nhin just freezes. She actually feels the blood running ice cold through her veins. When the meeting ends, I make it a point to walk right up to Liu Nhin. Congratulations, Boss Liu. I say with a smile, holding my hand out. 38 million yuan is incredibly generous. I am truly full of absolute admiration. Jiang Chu, you lost. Liu Nhin grits her teeth, trying hard to hide her weakness. Did I lose? I slowly shake my head and lean in close to whisper in her ear. Boss Liu, you probably do not know this. The hardware procurement cost for that exact project increased by 30% last week. Based on current market prices, the base cost is already 42 million yuan. Liu Nhin's pupils instantly dilate in shock. She stammers out, what did you just say? I made that calculation model over half a year ago. My tone is incredibly gentle, almost like I'm just reading her a soft bedtime story. Electronic chips had not gone up in price back then. Did T-Chit not tell you? He absolutely cannot understand those complex technical parameters. Anyway, he only knows how to copy things blindly. Liu Nhin, the thing you just signed is not a lifesaver at all. It is literally a deadly curse. The breach of contract penalty is 50% of the winning bid. Dropping it costs 19 million yuan. Doing it loses 4 million, plus trapping your working capital for half a year. How are you going to play this hand? I finish speaking, casually brush off Liu Nhin's shoulder like I'm flicking away dust, and turn to leave. I leave Liu Nhin standing completely frozen right there, her legs shaking, her vision going completely dark. Ruined, it is all completely ruined. She suddenly snaps her head toward T-Chit, still grinning like a total fool right beside her. T-Chit, Liu Nhin lets out this absolutely miserable scream, and delivers a brutally hard slap right across his face. You absolutely doomed me. Late at night in the company office, Liu Nhin collapses on the sofa like a broken doll. Because if they actually do this project, the company goes totally bankrupt. If they back out and pay the breach penalty, bankrupt again. Either way, it is completely game over for them. Boss Liu. T-Chit hides by the door, holding his swollen, puffy face. Way too scared to step inside. Get out. Liu Nhin has zero energy left to curse. Actually, there is still one more way. T-Chit's voice sounds incredibly sinister here. Liu Nhin does not move at all. T-Chit boldly walks over to her, lowering his voice. If the standard legal route is blocked for us, we take a different path. We just need to pull out that entire 15 million yuan advance payment. And then what? Right then, Liu Nhin's completely hollow eyes finally twitch a little. And then what? Then we grab the cash and run. T-Chit grinds his teeth, his eyes full of pure, vicious greed about fleeing overseas. This company is just an empty shell anyway. Let us just leave it for that guy Jiang to clean up our absolute mess of a battlefield. Liu Nhin stares hard at T-Chit for a very long time, grabbing the money and running. That is an actual crime, but looking at the mountain of debt collection bills piled high on the desk, plus my completely mocking face, if she does not leave, the rest of her life will be spent paying off debts and sitting in a cell. When does the advance hit the account? Liu Nhin's voice is incredibly hoarse, like sandpaper rubbing together. Once signed, within 3 days. A flash of wild, uncontrollable joy sparks right through T-Chit's eyes. Fine. Liu Nhin closes her eyes, start preparing. The exact second the money hits the account, we leave. But watch the hallway outside. A completely unnoticeable cleaning lady is slowly pushing her cart past them. That is Auntie Ving, the exact same woman I always used to help carry heavy things for. She heard the entire conversation going on inside. Even if she does not quite get the advance payment stuff, she absolutely understood the words grab the cash and run. She secretly pulls out her phone and quickly dials a number, saved right there in her contacts under the name Good Person. Mr. Jiang. Hello, Mr. Jiang. Is Ving here? On the other end, I am standing in front of a giant floor-to-ceiling window, looking down at the city's sparkling lights from above. Auntie Ving, take your time, just speak slowly. Finishing the call, I hang up, the corners of my mouth curling into a pretty cold smirk. I reach over and grab another phone off the desk, punching in a number. Hello, is this the economic police? I want to make a direct, named report. Over the next 3 days, this bizarre, incredibly eerie calm settles over the entire company office. Liu Nhin still shows up to work perfectly on time daily. She even acts completely out of character, buying afternoon tea for absolutely everyone, smiling and cheerfully encouraging them, saying things are a little bit tough lately. But if we just grit our teeth and nail this smart industrial park project, our end-of-year bonuses will definitely be doubled. The staff are pretty doubtful, but seeing their boss acting so calm, Their minds actually settle down just a little bit. Only the financial director actually notices something highly unusual going on. For the past few days, Liu Nhin repeatedly tells him to gather absolutely all the company's operating capital into one rarely used basic account, claiming it is just to make managing the advance payment easier. Meanwhile, tucked in a hidden corner, T-Chit is frantically contacting various second-hand dealers, taking all his designer bags, luxury watches, and even that brand new sports car he just bought, just to quickly trade them in for actual cash, at a seriously cheap price. As for Liu Nhin, she secretly packs her luggage late at night. She brings only her passport, a few highly valuable pieces of jewelry, and that specific hard drive containing every single one of the company's core secrets. She already calculated this perfectly. Even if she goes overseas, as long as she holds onto this hard drive, she can still sell this huge pile of client documents straight to their competitors in exchange for a massive chunk of fresh startup capital. And as for Jiang Chu, once she is completely gone, the only thing left behind for him will be an empty company shell, carrying massive, crushing debts on its back, along with an endless string of messy lawsuits. Thinking about this, Liu Nhin's hand suddenly pauses while packing her luggage, revealing a tiny, twisted flash of vengeful pleasure. On the afternoon of the third day, the 15 million yuan advance for the government bidding project hits their account right on time. The exact second that notification chime rings out, Liu Nhin and T-Chit lock eyes with each other, the depths of their eyes filled with totally unhideable, wild joy and absolute, unfiltered greed. Transfer it now, Liu Nhin urges him, while T-Chit tremblingly opens the online banking portal and enters an offshore account. That specific account was opened through a pretty shady underground money laundering ring. Once the cash moves, they are completely free and totally untraceable. Confirm the transfer. T-Chit hits the enter key, and this is where it all explodes. Boom. The office door gets violently kicked wide open. Not pushed, kicked. That massive bang makes T-Chit's hand violently shake, nearly sending the mouse flying across the desk. But the guy standing in the doorway is not the police. It is Jiang Chu. I am wearing this sleek black trench coat, with 5 or 6 huge guys in suits and dark sunglasses right behind me. That heavy aura does not look like a marketing director. I look way more like a ruthless mob boss arriving to collect a massive debt. President Liu, Manager Su, transferring funds in such a rush. Where exactly are you planning to go? I stroll in casually. My leather shoes click sharply against the floor. Liu Ruyan's face goes completely pale as she slams her laptop shut in a panic. Zhang Zhou, what the hell are you doing here? This is my company, get out right now. Her company? I just smile, pull a stack of documents from my coat pocket, and toss them on the desk. Too bad. Exactly 5 minutes ago, the court officially sealed off this entire company. Liu Ruyan's eyes widen in absolute disbelief. What are you talking about? On what grounds are you sealing it? On what grounds, you ask? I point to the man in glasses standing right behind me. Meet the legal director of Blue Ocean Group, Lawyer Li. Since you are highly suspected of illegally liquidating and hiding company assets, and dodging your massive debts, Blue Ocean Group filed a petition with the court for an emergency freeze on all properties before officially filing the lawsuit. Oh, right, I add, that 15 million yuan advance payment you just received? The account is completely frozen now, so you can't transfer a single cent out. No, that's absolutely impossible. Su Ji collapses into his chair, frantically clicking the mouse. A bright red warning box pops up on the screen. Account frozen, transaction failed. Su Ji feels the entire room spinning, his vision instantly going completely black. Liu Ruyan grips the desk so hard her nails almost snap. Zhang Zhou, do you really have to push us to this absolute dead end? Now watch this flip. She grinds her teeth, voice dripping with resentment. A dead end? I step right up to her, staring cold down across the desk. Liu Ruyan, when you plan to grab the cash and run, did you ever once think about the 30+ employees in this company? Some have mortgages to pay, some have kids to feed, and others have sick, elderly parents at home. If you leave, what are they supposed to do? Who's going to shoulder that 50 million yuan penalty? Who takes the fall for losing 15 million in state assets? You treated everyone around you like complete idiots, used us all as cheap stepping stones. Well, now you've fallen right into your own trap. Liu Ruyan's entire body shakes violently. I didn't. She desperately tries to make up an excuse, but that weak, pale defense couldn't even manage to convince her own lying self. Stop the acting. I cut her off cold. The cops are already downstairs waiting. You're suspected of embezzling public funds, massive contract fraud, and even forging official financial documents. Oh, and that little transfer log Suji just tried to pull off? I had someone screenshot it and send it straight to the economic police. Hearing the word police, Suji completely and utterly breaks down. He lets out a loud wail, crying uncontrollably. President Liu, you forced me to do it. You made me fake the books. You made me cross Zhangzhou's name out. You made me take the money. Suji lunges forward and tightly hugs my leg, wiping his pathetic tears and snot all over my expensive suit pants. Mr. Zhangzhou, please save me. I was totally forced into this. I really don't want to go to jail. Disgusted, I kick him right off. Suji, weren't you acting all high and mighty before? Didn't you call me a total buzzkill just a while ago? Now, you finally know how to beg for mercy? I drop down on one knee, staring at Suji like he's a dead dog, without a single shred of pity. Too late. Right at that very second, police sirens and loud, chaotic footsteps echo down the outside hallway. A uniformed officer suddenly bursts into the room. Which one of you is Liu Ruyan? Who is Suji? The exact moment those cold steel handcuffs snap onto her wrists, it's like Liu Ruyan's entire soul gets drained from her body. She looks up at me, standing by the window. The harsh backlight hides my expression completely. Zhangzhou. Liu Ruyan's voice trembles softly. For the sake of our past feelings, please help me. I don't even look back at her. Only when the cops finally drag them out do I quietly say, our past feelings got tossed in the trash a long time ago. Liu Ruyan and Suji are taken away for investigation, leaving the spirit creation office in complete and utter chaos. Staff members huddle in the office, some crying, some loudly cursing, while others are frantically hauling away company laptops and printers to cover their stolen wages. You can actually feel the shift here. This once glorious startup has completely crumbled into a disastrous mess overnight. Still, I don't leave the building just yet. I stand in the middle of the wrecked office, quietly watching the fallout. Sister Lee from finance runs over, her eyes totally red. What are we supposed to do now? Are we even going to get our salaries paid out? Yeah, Zhangzhou, we've all been following you since the very beginning. You can't just abandon us now. Everyone instantly crowds around me, treating me like their final pillar of hope. I look at these former coworkers who once fought right alongside me, even though they chose to stay completely silent when I was being heavily suppressed. Facing this brutal corporate world, we're all just pitiful victims here. Don't worry, everyone. I raise my hand to quickly calm them down. I've already negotiated things with Deep Blue. Anyone who passes Deep Blue's interview can jump straight into a new job there. For those who don't want to go, I'll personally front you all 1 month's salary as a severance package to tide you over. The crowd erupts into loud, massive cheers. Thank you, Mr. Zhang. Our Zhangzhou is still exactly the same guy he used to be. Someone lowers their head in deep shame. Mr. Zhang, I'm so sorry about before. It's all in the past now, I say mildly. After completely sorting out the staff's messy situation, I step right into Liu Ruyan's empty office. This place had been completely ransacked, but the safe was still locked tight. I knew the password. It was Liu Ruyan's birthday. I punched it in, and with one beep, the heavy door swung open. Inside, right next to a few old contracts, sat a single black USB drive. This was the exact lifeline Liu Ruyan planned to take abroad with her. That little drive held every single one of our core corporate secrets. I plugged the drive right into my computer, watching the folders pop up on screen. Seeing all those familiar client names, my eyes just went a little bit blank. This was the entire empire I built from the ground up with my own hands. I selected every single file, right-clicked, and hit permanently delete without hesitating. The progress bar zipped past. In that exact moment, the final value of spirit creation completely dropped back down to absolute zero. Even if Liu Ruyan gets out of prison, she has zero capital left to ever recover. Finishing up, I pulled the drive and tossed it into the trash can that once held my crossed out name. Goodbye, Spirit Company. Half a month later, in the detention center visiting room, Liu Ruyan was wearing a gray inmate uniform. Her hair was chopped short, her face sallow, lean completely wasted away. She just stared at me through the thick glass. Her eyes were super complicated, carrying hatred, bitter regret, but mostly just pure, crushing despair. You win, Zhang. Liu Ruyan's voice was completely hoarse. The company went bankrupt, liquidated. Every house and car under my name got auctioned off. All blame was shoved completely onto me. I'm probably looking at 5 years inside. I just looked at her calmly, not saying a single word. Zhang, do you really hate me that much? Liu Ruyan suddenly lost it, slamming her hands against the glass. Was I really not good to you? Over these past 5 years, I gave you so many chances. Just because I took one trip without you, you had to completely destroy my life? Unbelievable, right? Even now, she still thinks I am just being completely petty. I let out a heavy sigh, grabbing the receiver. Speaking slowly, Liu Ruyan, until now, you still do not get it. It is not about that stupid trip, but about basic respect. 5 years ago, no matter how broke you were, you still shared your only chicken leg with me. Back then, I considered you real family. Yet years later, no matter how wealthy you became, you could not even bear to buy me a single plane ticket. You just treated me like a servant. You think I cared about money? If I wanted cash, Deep Blue would have poached me a very long time ago. I only wanted the Liu Ruyan who shared every hardship with me. Sadly, that exact version of Liu Ruyan faded away a very long time ago. Liu Ruyan just froze, tears rolling down her pale cheeks. Zhang Chu, she sobbed out. My name, I was wrong. I was really so incredibly wrong. When I get out, even if I have to sweep trash, I will pay you back. No need. I stood up, calmly adjusting my sharp suit. Just consider that cash a final parting tribute to the past. Liu Ruyan. As for you, I stared right down at her, my eyes as cold as solid ice. Serve your time well. Hopefully, 5 years from now, you will learn how to be a decent human being. I hung up the phone, turning around to leave. Behind me, echoed the absolutely heart-wrenching screams of Liu Ruyan. But I never looked back once, stepping out of those gates. The sunlight outside was quite blinding, so I raised a hand to shield my eyes. Spring had finally arrived. The roadside flowers were blooming perfectly. My phone suddenly rang. It was the boss of Deep Blue calling me. Director Zhang, you absolutely cannot miss tonight's celebration banquet. Winning that massive smart industrial park project this time, you take all the top credit. I smiled and spoke right into the phone. Yes, I will definitely be there.